Welcome to the Mental Health 101 module entitled Housing Assistance. Housing Choice Vouchers. You can access the full text of the fact sheet by clicking the link provided here. What are Housing Choice Vouchers? The Housing Choice Voucher Program is the federal government's major program for assisting very low-income families, the elderly, and the disabled to afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in the private market. Since housing assistance is provided on behalf of the family or individual, participants are able to find their own housing, including single-family homes, townhouses, and apartments. The participant is free to choose any housing that meets the requirements of the program and is not limited to units located in subsidized housing projects. Housing choice vouchers are administered locally by public housing agencies, PHAs. The PHAs receive federal funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, to administer the voucher program. A family that is issued a housing voucher is responsible for finding a suitable housing unit of the family's choice where the owner agrees to rent under the program. This unit may include the family's present residence. Rental units must meet minimum standards of health and safety, as determined by the PHA. A housing subsidy is paid to the landlord directly by the PHA on behalf of the participating family. The family then pays the difference between the actual rent charged by the landlord and the amount subsidized by the program. Under certain circumstances, if authorized by the PHA, a family may use its voucher to purchase a modest home. Am I eligible? Eligibility for a housing voucher is determined by the PHA based on the total annual gross income and family size, and is limited to U.S. citizens and specified categories of non-citizens who have eligible immigration status. In general, the family's income may not exceed 50% of the median income for the county or metropolitan area in which the family chooses to live. By law, a PHA must provide 75% of its voucher to applicants whose incomes do not exceed 30% of the area median income. Median income levels are published by HUD and vary by location. The PHA serving your community can provide you with the income limits for your area and family size. During the application process, the PHA will collect information on family income, assets, and family composition. The PHA will verify this information with other local agencies, your employer, and bank, and will use the information to determine program eligibility and the amount of the housing assistance payment. If the PHA determines that your family is eligible, the PHA will put your name on a waiting list, unless it is able to assist you immediately. Once your name is reached on the waiting list, the PHA will contact you and issue to you a housing voucher. How do I apply? If you are interested in applying for a voucher, contact the local PHA. For further assistance, please contact the HUD office nearest to you. The next section focuses on public housing. You can read the full informational text by clicking the link here. What is public housing? Public housing was established to provide decent and safe rental housing for eligible low-income families, the elderly, and persons with disabilities. Public housing comes in all sizes and types, from scattered single-family houses to high-rise apartments for elderly families. There are approximately 970,000 households living in public housing units, managed by some 3,300 HAs. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, administers federal aid to local housing agencies, HAs, that manage the housing for low-income residents at rents they can afford. HUD furnishes technical and professional assistance in planning, developing, and managing these developments. Who is eligible? Public housing is limited to low-income families and individuals. And HUD determines your eligibility based on 1. Annual gross income, 2. Whether you qualify as elderly, a person with a disability, or as a family. And 3. U.S. citizenship or eligible immigration status. If you are eligible, the HA will check your references to make sure you and your family will be good tenants. HAS will deny admission to any applicant whose habits and practices may be expected to have a detrimental effect on other tenants or on the project's environment. HA's use income limits developed by HUD. HUD sets the lower income limits at 80% and very low income limits at 50% of the median income for the county or metropolitan area in which you choose to live. Income limits vary from area to area, so you may be eligible at one hub but not at another. The HA, serving your community, can provide you with the income levels for your area and family size, or you can also find the income limits here on the internet. How do I apply? If you are interested in applying for public housing, contact your local HA. If you have trouble contacting the HA, contact the local HUD field office. You can find links and additional information, including contact information for local HUD offices, in the information provided in this learning module. Together we thrive.